Greek Titans. Before Zeus and the Olympians, the Titans ruled the cosmos. Born from Gaia, Earth, and Uranus, Sky, these 12 primordial gods represented powerful natural forces. Cronus, the Titan leader, feared a prophecy that his children would overthrow him. To prevent this, he swallowed each child at birth. But Rhea, his wife, hid their youngest, Zeus, who grew strong in secret. Zeus ultimately rose against his father, freeing his siblings and leading a battle known as the Titanomachy. The Olympians emerged victorious, casting the Titans into Tartarus, a dark underworld prison. Their defeat ended the Titans' age, marking the dawn of the Olympian gods and the beginning of a new order. Egyptian afterlife. For the ancient Egyptians, death was just the beginning of a new journey. After passing away, each soul entered the Tuatha, a shadowy underworld ruled by Osiris, god of the dead. Here, Anubis, the jackal-headed deity, weighed the soul's heart against the feather of Mahat, symbolizing truth and justice. If lighter, the soul was granted paradise in Aru, the field of reeds, a blissful mirror of earthly life. If heavy, the heart was devoured by Amit, a creature part crocodile, part lion, part hippo. This belief underscored Egyptians' deep respect for morality, emphasizing that one's actions would determine their eternal fate. Norse 9 realms. In Norse mythology, the universe was a vast tree named Yggdrasil, connecting 9 distinct realms. Asgard was home to the gods, Midgard to humans, and Jotunheim to giants. Each realm had unique beings and mysteries. Svartalfheim held the dark elves, Niflheim was a frozen wasteland, and Muspelheim was a fiery world. Hel, goddess of the underworld, ruled Helheim, the realm of the dead. This complex cosmology demonstrated how Norse beliefs intertwined gods, giants, and humans in an interconnected world. Yggdrasil itself was central to Norse cosmology, symbolizing life, death, and the inevitable cycle of fate. Japanese creation myth. According to Japanese myth, the divine couple, Izanagi and Izanami, created the islands of Japan. Standing on the floating bridge of heaven, they stirred the sea with a jeweled spear, lifting the first island, Onogoro, from the waters. There, they wed and brought forth the islands and gods. But tragedy struck when Izanami died, giving birth to the fire god. In grief, Izanagi sought her in the land of the dead, but was horrified by her decayed form. Fleeing, he purified himself, giving birth to 3 deities, including Amaterasu, the sun goddess. This myth explains Japan's divine origins and the sacredness of purification. Aztec 5 suns. The Aztecs believed in 5 successive worlds, or suns, each destroyed by catastrophe. The first sun, Tezcatlipoca's world, ended in darkness. The second was destroyed by fierce winds, the third by fire rain, and the fourth by a flood. The fifth, ruled by the sun god Tannacha, is our current world, destined to end in earthquakes. Each sun represents a cosmic cycle, with humanity recreated each time. Through ritual and sacrifice, the Aztecs believed they sustained Tonatiuh, ensuring the sun's daily journey. This cyclical worldview emphasized their respect for the forces of nature and the precariousness of life. Incan sun god Inti. For the Inca, Inti was the god of the sun and the most revered deity. Believed to be the ancestor of the Incan emperor, Inti was honored as a giver of life and ruler of the heavens. Temples dedicated to him, like the Golden Coricancha in Cusco, were filled with offerings of maize, llamas, and gold. The annual Inti Raymi festival celebrated the sun's rebirth, with dances, feasts, and sacrifices. Inti's power was seen in every sunrise, a reminder of his warmth and strength, which nourished both crops and people. The Incan Empire thrived under his protection, believing their emperor was Inti's divine descendant. Navajo Holy People. The Navajo people believe in the Holy People, supernatural beings who shaped the world and continue to guide their descendants. According to Navajo tradition, humans emerged from a series of worlds, guided by these deities to reach the present one. Among the holy people, a changing woman, who brings life and renewal, and black god associated with the stars. Through ceremonies like the night chant, Navajo healers seek their blessings for health, balance, and protection. The holy people's teachings emphasize respect for nature and harmony within oneself, illustrating the interconnectedness of all living beings in Navajo belief. Chinese dragon myths. In Chinese culture, dragons symbolize power, prosperity, and control over water. Unlike the Western fire-breathing dragons, Chinese dragons are benevolent, revered as rain-bringers and protectors of rivers. The Dragon King, Lung Wang, oversees these creatures, dwelling in an underwater palace adorned with pearls and treasures. Dragon dances during New Year celebrations honor these powerful beings, invoking good fortune and rain for crops. Emperors often claimed descent from dragons, adding divine legitimacy to their rule. In Chinese mythology, dragons embody strength and wisdom, uniting heaven and earth and bringing balance to the natural world. Irish Tuatha De Danann. The Tuatha De Danann are the mystical race of Irish deities and heroes. Skilled in magic and warfare, they arrived in Ireland in a cloud of mist, overcoming the Fir Bolg and Fomorians, two other races inhabiting the land. Led by the goddess Danu, they brought divine artifacts, including the Spear of Lugh and the Cauldron of Dagda. The Tuatha De Danann ruled until the arrival of the Milesians, mortal ancestors of the Irish, who pushed them underground. Today, they are said to live as the Aussie, the fairies, guarding the hidden magical places of Ireland and protecting its natural beauty. Hindu gods Vishnu, Shiva, and Brahma. In Hinduism, the trinity of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva represents creation, preservation, and destruction. Brahma, the creator, brings the universe into being. Vishnu, the preserver, maintains order, and Shiva, the destroyer, brings necessary endings, allowing rebirth. Vishnu's incarnations, like Rama and Krishna, appear in times of crisis to restore balance, while Shiva's cosmic dance of Tandava symbolizes the universe's rhythm. Together, these gods reflect the Hindu understanding of life's cycles and the interconnected roles of creation and destruction in sustaining existence. Each embodies aspects of both divine and human nature, deeply influencing Hindu philosophy. Maori myth of Maui Maui, the Polynesian trickster hero, performed great feats for humanity. In one famous tale, he slowed the sun's journey across the sky. Annoyed by the sun's speed which shortened the days, Maui wove a rope and lassoed the sun, forcing it to move slower. In another story, he fished up the islands of New Zealand using an enchanted hook. When he died attempting to conquer death itself, Maui left behind tales that illustrate the Maori values of courage, wit, and respect for nature's power. He remains a symbol of resourcefulness and daring in Maori culture, inspiring modern Polynesians. Zulu Sky God Inkosana, yeZulu. The Zulu people of southern Africa revere Inkosana, yeZulu, the ruler of the sky and storm. He controls thunder and lightning, bringing both rains for crops and storms that can destroy. The Zulu respect the powerful, unpredictable nature of Inkosana, holding him as the ultimate authority who can shape life's fortunes. Rituals and sacrifices are offered to him, seeking his favor for abundant harvests and protection from natural calamities. This veneration for the sky god underscores the Zulu's close relationship with the natural world, acknowledging its beauty and danger as reflections of Inkosana's might. Sumerian hero Gilgamesh, a legendary king of Uruk in Sumer, sought immortality after the death of his friend Enkidu. His epic journey took him to the ends of the earth, where he encountered Utnapishtim, a man granted eternal life by the gods. Despite his strength and bravery, Gilgamesh learned that immortality was reserved for the divine. He returned to Uruk, accepting his mortality, but vowing to leave a lasting legacy through wisdom and leadership. The Epic of Gilgamesh, the world's oldest recorded story, illustrates the universal theme of humanity's search for purpose and the acceptance of life's impermanence. Yoruba Orishas. In Yoruba mythology from West Africa, Orishas are powerful spirits or deities that embody natural forces and human emotions. The Orishas include deities like Shango, god of thunder and lightning, Oshun, goddess of rivers and love, and Ishu, the mischievous messenger who opens paths and brings both fortune and chaos. Each Orisha is honored with distinct rituals, colors, and symbols, and they act as intermediaries between humans and the supreme creator, Olodumare. Yoruba belief teaches that every person is connected to an Orisha, influencing their life and guiding them through blessings or lessons. The Orishas remain a vibrant part of modern Yoruba and Afro-Caribbean religious practices, embodying the enduring relationship between humans and the divine. Roman mythology and the Greek influence. Roman mythology borrows much from the Greek pantheon, but with unique attributes that reflect Roman values. Greek Zeus became Jupiter, while Hera became Juno. Mars, the Roman god of war, held special prominence as a symbol of conquest and military strength, in contrast to his Greek counterpart Ares, who was less revered. Romans adapted the Greek myths, but emphasized discipline, loyalty, and the importance of the state. The gods were seen as guardians of Rome's destiny, and grand temples like the Pantheon were built to honor them. Roman myths and deities became part of their cultural identity, helping to unify the vast empire and instill a sense of divine favor in its expansion. Native American Thunderbird. Among many Native American tribes, the Thunderbird is a sacred creature representing power, strength, and divine intervention. Described as a colossal bird with thunderous wing beats, the Thunderbird is believed to control storms, bring rain for crops, and protect tribes from evil spirits. The creature's striking image often appears in Native American art, with wings spread wide and lightning bolts in its claws. For the Lakota and Ojibwe peoples, it symbolizes the relationship between humans and the natural world, urging respect for the forces of nature. Thunderbird legends teach that the balance of nature must be maintained, as its powers can be both protective and destructive. Polynesian Atua and Ancestor worship. In Polynesian cultures, the Atua are guardian spirits who govern natural elements and human activities. Many Atua are deified ancestors, embodying qualities or powers like war, the sea, and fertility. These spirits are revered in family shrines, with rituals and offerings to maintain favor and guidance. For example, Tangaroa, god of the sea, is crucial in Polynesian communities where the ocean sustains life. The practice of ancestor worship and reverence for Atua reflects the Polynesian belief that the spirits of their ancestors continue to influence daily life. This connection between family, nature, and the divine gives their mythology a unique communal focus that has persisted through generations. Babylonian Tiamat and Marduk. In Babylonian myth, Tiamat, a primeval sea dragon, symbolized chaos. She was one of the first gods and mother to a host of creatures. When the younger gods rebelled against her, she waged war against them with a terrifying army. Marduk, a young storm god, rose to the challenge, armed with winds and lightning. After a fierce battle, he defeated Tiamat, slicing her body in two to form the heavens and the earth. Marduk's victory established order over chaos, solidifying him as the chief god of Babylon. Tiamat's myth illustrates the cosmic struggle between creation and destruction, a theme central to Mesopotamian beliefs. Kukulkan, the Mayan god. Kukulkan, also known as the feathered serpent, was a revered god of the Maya, representing the wind, rain, and creation. His feathered form symbolizes both the heavens, feathers, and the earth, serpent, embodying duality. Kukulkan's descent during equinoxes at Chichen Itza's pyramid, where shadows align to mimic a serpent sliding down the stairs, is celebrated as a divine display. Mayans prayed to Kukulkan for fertility and agricultural success, believing his influence extended over life and death. The worship of Kukulkan reveals the Mayas' deep connection to nature and their understanding of cosmic cycles, which governed their lives and rituals. Finnish Kalevala. The Kalevala, Finland's national epic, is a collection of myths and heroic tales passed down through oral tradition. The stories center around Wainamoinen, a wise old bard with magical powers who creates land, battles rival wizards, and journeys to the underworld. The tales are filled with powerful characters like Ilmarinen, a divine blacksmith who forges the magical artifact Sampo, which brings prosperity. The Kalevala emphasizes themes of resilience, unity, and respect for nature. This epic, compiled in the 19th century, not only revived Finnish culture, but also inspired artists and composers, becoming a symbol of national pride and identity.